Greens, ladies and gents, Ilzy from Heathen Sen here. Welcome to my channel. Today we've got a review for a fragrance that actually was part of the start of my fragrance journey after I got that Creed Aventus at first. And now, before we get on to a review, I'd like to thank my subscribers. I hope you're liking the content so far. And for the viewers out there, please subscribe. You'll be seeing a lot more fragrant videos like this coming straight to you soon. Now, let's start off with the review. We have got Maison Margiela Replica Coffee Break. So, this one was actually one that I originally got about like close to the end of last year, and basically I just got like a 10ml bottle just like tried it out on the scent strip, and I thought, okay, this is actually quite amazing, you know, like considering this is like my first foray into designers. I guess I had no idea about it, nothing really mainstream at least. So let's start off with the presentation of this fragrance. So, you know, you got a very simple bottle over here, nothing too ridiculously fancy. It doesn't come with a cap, you know, this actually just has the spray up here, so it's a little bit unique. It's a bit of a different spray, as you can tell. And it actually has this nice string around, you know, the neck of the bottle, makes it almost look a little bit like handmade. And you got the label at the front, which is almost like this, I guess you could say, like, you see those like cotton embroidery things like on shirts or whatever else. It has that feel to it, and even like you know, you got like a thread that actually come from it and everything like that. So like obviously it's, you know, pretty legit. There we go. And you know, obviously it's got the name of the fragrance, you know, and it does this whole thing where it says, oh, well, let me see, provenance and period. So, you know, it actually goes by like a, you know, like a date and also a location and everything. So you got like what, Stockholm 2007, fragrance description, creamy and cozy coffee, style description, female and male fragrance. So we've got a unisex one over here, which is really good. Now let's show off the sprayer a bit. Pretty good sprayer, definitely nothing of a slouch at all. And we'll spray this thing on now. Okay. Oof. Oof. Absolutely freaking beautiful. Oh. Wow. This is one thing that ever since day one I have been aching to find this, because this one seems to be very hard to find. You know, I've seen people online selling bottles of this for over like $200, $300 or whatever. Hell, I think I even saw one online shop that actually sell for over $500. I'm thinking, okay, that's a little bit excessive, let's be honest. But get on to the notes. So at the top we have got pepper, patchouli and orange blossom. At the heart we have lavender, milk, tonka bean, cyan benzoin and cypriol oil. And at the base we got vanilla, cedar and vetiver. So the progression of this fragrance, from the beginning you're gonna get that pepper and patchouli. And the patchouli is actually quite nice because it really brings out that chocolatey type of scent to it, and that pepper really adds that little bit of spice to it. It's almost like a slightly spicy chocolate. I'm not getting much of that orange blossom. It is it is quite faint, but it like adds to the florals to this. Like you got that lavender that really how should I say, it really projects out from the moment that you spray it. So straight away you get that really cozy, calming feeling of the lavender. And well, those top notes seem to last actually about a good hour and a half, which I was actually quite surprised at. But being that you got the patchouli there and everything like that, you know, it softens everything up, gets those top notes really lasting, and you got that benzoin in there that really clings like those top notes to your skin, and it really keeps it going. Let me see, and then once those fade to the heart notes, you got that lavender really come out, and it's actually quite nice. Once again, very calming, very soothing. And you got like the tonka bean that really sort of sweetens everything up, and that milk, so you got that creamy lactonic sort of feel about it. So it's very much like a coffee, it, like, at least I guess you could say, like more like a latte or something like that. Nothing like an espresso or anything like that. So it's nothing strong, but let me see what else you got. The benzoin and the cypriol oil. Cypriol oil, like, it's not really evident in this fragrance too much. Like, it adds kind of a little something green and slightly earthy to the fragrance, to I guess like emulate the coffee sort of feel to this fragrance. Now, you actually get that as well from the vetiver at the bottom too, I've noticed, because like, it's not completely sweet. It's got that earthiness, it's got that little bit of greenness to it. But anyway, going on to like those heart notes, basically they last about a good 4 or so hours until they fade to the base notes. And coming down to that, you got that vanilla, cedar, and the vetiver. Now, obviously, when it comes down to it, the vanilla is much more prominent. It isn't like a candy sweet vanilla. It is actually a little bit more velvety, sort of smooth. And I guess like the cedar sort of like helps sort of smooth it out a bit as well. Like the vetiver adds a little bit of that earthy sort of grit to it, which once again sort of, gives that coffee feel to it. But it, as I said, like, even though it's like quite earthy, it doesn't really sort of get too gritty or anything like that, too harsh. I guess because of that patchouli, especially sort of from the beginning, sort of really smooths everything out. And I don't know, there's like a good combination of notes in there that sort of really smooth out the whole fragrance, and it really gives a nice calming feel. Now, like, the fragrance altogether actually lasts a good 7 hours on my skin, at least. That, I don't know, like, I get a lot of people that are telling me that it doesn't really last long, probably like a few hours or whatever. I don't get that, I mean, like, maybe like at initially, like, those top and the heart notes, whatever, they don't seem to like last as long. But vanilla, just my skin chemistry seems to work really well with vanilla, and it just clings to my skin like crazy. So 7 hours, I think that is actually really good. Now, in terms of projection, so you're not really going to get anything really basic about this one. This is definitely going to be something within an arm's length. I've had people, obviously, like, maybe in the first probably about like 20 to 30 minutes, like maybe beyond a meter from me, actually smell it and quite like it. So I've had compliments from it, which is really good. It's definitely like, it's not a ridiculous compliment to get it, but it's more like something like, oh look, a lot of people say, hey, I like this a lot, this actually smells very nice and cozy and sweet. It's not like it's not something that's like sexy, you know what I mean? But it's cozy, it's beautiful, it's very nice. And okay, yeah, so that skin scent sort of comes in at around, I'd say about maybe the 1.5 to 2 hour mark. It's kind of around there. It's when it gets closer to the skin, which is not too bad though. Honestly, I think this one's a little bit more of a different fragrance compared to a lot of most like compliment getters and everything like that, just because of the fact that, like, it's got that sort of whole coffee feel, sweet, cozy. I actually remember using this at first, like when it was like a bit of a, how should I say, bit of a dark time, should I say, when I actually first got this. So this is actually quite nice. It's kind of sentimental to me because, I was actually, working it was like afternoon shifts or whatever. So basically I would wake up probably like midday or something like that. I would have my first coffee, I'll go outside and just sort of smell everything in the air, just have some nice fresh air going on, and spray this on me, and I'll read a book as well. So it really has that sort of ritual thing going on, at least for me. This is definitely something that's very zen for me. It's calming, and it really brings back that not so distant memory, so which is really good. And now for the price of this fragrance, you can get from Mecca Maxima, or generally Mecca stores around Australia. At least I think they're all around Australia. But it cost $185 for 100 ml of this. I know you can obviously get it in the 10 ml, and that cost, I believe, $43. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either $43 or $46, regardless. You can also get it in a 30 ml, I believe, as well. I'm not 100% sure on the price, but you can go check them out in a Mecca store, or check them out online. I'd say definitely worth the money that you pay for it. I mean, yes, I know, like, it is an eau de toilette, it is not an eau de parfum, but you see a lot of designer fragrances, just very more mainstream ones, they cost, for 100 ml, you could be paying upwards $200 or something dollars. So honestly, for what I get from this and how lovely it is, I believe it is definitely worth the price. Now let's get onto the versatility of this fragrance. So this is, I wouldn't say this is something really sort of like a summery fragrance at all, considering it's a bit more sweet, earthy, cozy. Maybe if it's a cooler summer night, but any other time of the year, autumn, spring, winter definitely is going to be a much more suitable time for this fragrance. And on top of that, also being that, it even says in the style description over here, female and male fragrance, yet definitely is unisex. There is nothing really there that's very masculine or very feminine. I mean, the closest thing you'll get there is probably that vetiver, but even then, it really doesn't sort of like give any sort of leathery nuance to it, which on the odd occasion can do that. But I see it as more of an earthy thing to sort of bring out that coffee feel, which is one of those things that kind of surprises me, considering the name is Coffee Break. I would have thought that I actually got like a coffee note in there, but no, you know what? It emulates the whole feel of a coffee break very well, and to be honest, I'm absolutely in love with this. This is probably, I'd say, easily top 5 cooler weather scents. Definitely, I would highly recommend checking this out. If you're going to go to the Mecca store, or just say, I'm pretty sure actually in the US you can get it from Sephora as well. I'm pretty sure I saw it on there, and pretty sure you can get this in a candle as well. Oh yeah, you can definitely. So I wouldn't mind getting that, see how that goes too. So this has been my review for Maison Margiela Replica Coffee Break. I hope you're all doing well, guys. If you like what you see and what you hear, please hit that like button, comment, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fragrant videos like this straight to your feed. Take care of yourselves, guys. And remember, if you smell good, you feel good. I'll see you on the next video, guys.